Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a fantastic day to dive deep into the absolute madness that just went down in Port Charles. We are still recovering from the latest shockers, and we just have to talk about it. Grab a snack to get comfortable, and let's break down every single wild moment together. I am literally shaking right now. I cannot even process what I just watched. And I know for a fact I am not the only one losing my absolute mind over this episode. I am sitting here typing this up at 2 a.m. because there is no way I am going to be able to sleep after that ending. We need to talk about Jason and Sam McCall. I repeat, we need to talk about Jason. I have been watching this show religiously since 2015, and I have seen some crazy retcons, some wild, back from the dead storylines, and some absolutely unhinged plot twists, but this is the best thing they have done in literal years. Because, let's be real, I was so incredibly frustrated with Jason's current storyline. I mean, Jason taking the fall for Rocco Falconeri, shooting Ross Cullum. Sure, it is a very Jason thing to do. He's always protecting the people he cares about. And taking the heat so a kid doesn't have his life ruined by the WSB is classic Jason behavior. But watching him get shipped off to a WSB black site in Jakarta while Dante and the PCPD are running in circles, it was dragging. I was sitting here every day like, okay, when is Sonny going to figure this out? When is Carly going to actually do something instead of just hooking up with Jack Brennan in her attic while Valentin fumes? But then they gave us this. So Jason is sitting in this damp, dark, miserable WSB black site in Jakarta. Carly already told Elizabeth that Brennan leaked the location, so we knew where he was. We knew it was bad. The atmosphere in that scene was so heavy. Jason is just sitting there completely isolated, probably thinking he's going to spend the rest of his life rotting in a cell because Cullum is a corrupt, power-hungry monster. And then, a voice. A voice echoing through the ventilation shaft from the cell right next to his. I swear to you, the second I heard that voice, my heart actually stopped. I had to pause the TV. I had to rewind it 3 times because I thought my brain was playing tricks on me. It was Sam. Sam MC Call is alive. Are you kidding me right now? We all thought she died in that horrific accident. The whole town of Port Charles mourned her. Danny has been an absolute wreck, literally trying to join Sonny's mob just to get revenge on Jens. Sidwell, because he thinks Sidwell is the reason his family is destroyed. And the whole time she has been alive and locked in a black site halfway across the world, I screamed. I literally screamed at my screen. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's back up to the explanation because the lore they just dropped on us is massive. Sam didn't just survive a crash and get amnesia. No, that would be too simple for this show. She was kidnapped by Jens Sidwell. I'm sorry, but Sidwell is officially the most terrifying, competent villain we have had on this canvas since Cesar Faison himself. Sidwell orchestrated this whole thing because Sam found out too much about the Crystalline conspiracy. Yes, the Crystalline conspiracy. The same Cesar Faison project that Ross Cullum had the book for in his coat pocket when Jocelyn found him at Windermere. The same project that Cassius is trying to force Britt Westbourne to finish. It all connects. I love it when the writers actually weave the storylines together instead of leaving them in isolated bubbles. Sam had sensitive intel on Faison's project, so Sidwell snatched her, faked her death, and handed her over to the WSB because Cullum is clearly in bed with Sidwell. It makes so much sense now. Cullum isn't just some rogue WSB director. He's actively working with Sidwell to protect the Crystalline conspiracy. And they locked Sam away to keep her quiet. But can we talk about the vent communication? The sheer nostalgia of Jason and Sam tapping messages to each other through the vents, whispering in the dark, realizing they are both there. The emotional weight of Jason realizing the love of his life, the mother of his child is sitting right on the other side of that wall. You can see the exact moment, the stoic, robotic Jason completely shattered and then immediately rebuilt himself into a lethal weapon. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, keeps Jason locked up when Sam McCall needs rescuing. And they had a ticking clock. Of course they did. Jack Cullum is a snake, and he had just issued an order to transfer them to an untraceable location. If they didn't get out right then and there, they're going to disappear forever. What followed was easily the best sequence of television this show has produced all year. It was the perfect combination of their skills. Jason has the special ops lethal enforcer muscle, and Sam has the genius level hacking skills. They are the ultimate power couple, and seeing them work in perfect sync again was everything I never knew I needed. The breakout itself was like something out of an action blockbuster. Sam hacking the electronic locks through a bypass terminal she somehow hotwired, while Jason physically dismantled the WSB guards who came to prep them for transport. It was fast, it was brutal, and it was so satisfying. I have been so sick of the WSB acting like they are untouchable lately. Between Brennan strutting around Port Charles and Cullum acting like a dictator from his hospital bed, it was about time somebody handed the WSB a massive, humiliating defeat. And who better than Jason and Sam? Then we get to the Indonesian jungle. Oh my god, the cinematography in these scenes was actually incredible. They are running for their lives through the dense, humid jungle, dodging heavily armed mercenaries that Cullum and Sidwell clearly paid top dollar for. The stakes felt so incredibly high. I was on the edge of my seat biting my nails, even though I knew deep down they wouldn't kill them off right after reuniting them. But the tension was real. And Sam, can we please give a massive round of applause for Sam McCall? She didn't just play the damsel in distress waiting for Jason to shoot everyone. She used her brain. When the mercenaries were closing in, she set up that brilliant decoy using the guards' stolen radios and a rigged feedback loop to draw them toward the cliffs while she and Jason slipped down to the riverbank. It was classic Sam. She is smart, she is resourceful, and she is a survivor. They finally make it to the water and manage to hijack a ride on a local fisherman's boat. The visual of the two of them, exhausted, covered in mud, and sweat bleeding, but holding on to each other as the boat pulls away into the night cinema, absolute cinema. And the conversation they had on that boat, chills, literal chills. They didn't just sit there and cry about how hard it was. They made a vow. They looked at each other and swore that the second they stepped foot back in Port Charles, they're going to burn Ross Cullum and Jen Sidwell to the ground. I am so here for vengeful, unhinged Jason and Sam. They are currently international fugitives. The WSB is going to be hunting them globally. Cullum is going to be pulling every string he has to silence them before they can expose his dirty alliance with Sidwell. But Jason and Sam are coming home, and they are bringing a war with them. They explicitly said they are going straight to Sonny Corinthos with the truth. Let's just pause and think about the absolute earthquake this is going to cause in Port Charles. Sonny has been running around trying to figure out how to handle Sidwell. Rick Lansing has been telling Sonny that Sidwell orchestrated Jason's arrest to leave Sonny vulnerable. Well, Rick was right. Sidwell is pulling all the strings. When Jason and Sam walk through Sonny's door and drop the bomb that Cullum and Sidwell are working together on Faison's Crystalline conspiracy, Sonny is going to unleash hell. I mean, we all know Sonny has been holding back because of the Marco Rios murder heat. But this is personal. And what about Danny? I am literally going to cry just thinking about Danny. That poor kid has been going through absolute torture. He lost his mom. His dad gets hauled off to a black site, and he has been acting out so badly. He just wrecked Charlotte Cassidy's car in that massive Route 91 crash with Jordan and Curtis. He has been begging Sonny to let him into the mob so he can go after Sidwell himself. Danny is so fixated on revenge because he thinks he has nothing left to lose. When he finds out his mother is alive, when he sees Jason and Sam walk through the door together, I am going to need a whole box of tissues for that reunion. The writers better not gloss over Danny's reaction. I want a full, emotionally devastating, beautifully acted scene between Danny, Jason, and Sam. I know some people are loving the current Carly and Valentin and Brennan WSB drama, but personally, I think this Jason and Sam storyline is about to completely overshadow it. Carly is busy playing games in her attic, trying to cover up Danny's car crash. And Valentin is fuming over Brennan. But once Jason gets back with the actual truth about the WSB director, Carly is going to have to drop everything. She wants to focus on taking down Cullum and Sidwell anyway. So Jason and Sam's return is going to give her exactly the ammunition she needs. Let's talk about Ross Cullum for a second. That man is sitting in his hospital bed at GH, bullying Britt Westbourne, trying to figure out who shot him, acting like he is the king of the world. He knows Jason didn't shoot him. He knows Rocco did it. But Cullum doesn't care about justice. He cares about leverage. Well, guess what, Ross? Your leverage is currently on a fishing boat in Indonesia, and they are coming for your head. I cannot wait to see the look on Cullum's smug face when he realizes his top secret black site failed and his prisoners are loose. He's going to panic, and a panicked Cullum is going to make mistakes. And Jens Sidwell, oh Jens, you really thought you could play God, didn't you? You thought you could kidnap Sam McCall, hand her to the WSB frame, Laura Collins, torture Ethan Lovett's family, and just waltz around Port Charles like a grieving father. Ethan is already plotting with Sonny to wipe Sidwell off the map. Now add Jason to that hit list. Sidwell is a dead man walking. There is no way he survives the combined wrath of Sonny, Jason, Ethan, and an incredibly pissed off Sam McCall. Am I the only one who thinks this is going to tie perfectly into May sweeps? We are right on the edge of May. The timing is impeccable. The Broadway crossover with Gio and Emma in New York is cute and all. But this is the gritty, high-stakes soap opera drama I signed up for. I want explosions. I want shootouts on the pier. I want the WSB exposed for the corrupt organization it has become. I just keep replaying that vent scene in my head. The way Jason's voice cracked. He never shows emotion, but you could hear the absolute disbelief when he realized it was her. And Sam, sounding so tired but so fiercely determined. They had been through so much over the years. Remember when they tried to keep them apart with the whole Drew memory mapping storyline? Yeah. Didn't work then either. You cannot keep these two apart. The universe literally will not allow it. Okay, I need to force myself to go to bed, Bing, but I am going to be dreaming about this escape sequence. I want to know what you guys think. Are you as hyped as I am? Do you think they will make it back to Port Charles without getting intercepted by Cullum's goons? How do you think Sonny is going to react when he finds out the depth of Sidwell's betrayal? Drop all your theories in the forum, because I need to talk about this for the next week straight. What an episode. What a show. We are so back, baby.